Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I'm going to try to do a little quick video this morning where I answered a couple questions on Facebook I thought everybody would find interesting. One thing I want to point out at the beginning of this video, because I do this often with comments that I get, is that almost on most of the videos here, and and I have like almost 900 of them, whatever, but most of them, especially the ones in the last few years, if you'll look, pinned at the very top is a comment called Tunnels and Underground Facilities in Midland, Texas. And if you read more here, it's basically a short history telling, what's going on here, trying to fill in anybody that's new, because I get asked the same question over and over and over and over again. I mean, I'm answering the same question. And most of the evidence here, these are like 10 videos here, I think, that are important. All of them are important, but these really answer a lot of questions for people on the medical crimes, and the police and etc. And so I'm often referencing them because I don't know how many times I'll get asked over and over and over again, how come nobody's been seen on camera? I have a video called "Why Hasn't Anybody Been Seen on Camera?" Why don't you dig? You know how many times I've been asked that question? I got a video called "Why Don't You Dig?" It's right there pinned to the top of these videos. And so I want to let everybody know that, read that sometime and check out the main videos. Here's one of the two stories that I'm going to do today. And it come from a comment that I got, and it's why not shoot them? I think it's a fair enough question, right? Because that's a lot of people, especially here in Texas, where they have the guns. Everybody has the right to protect their home, their property, their life, their family. Everybody but me in Midland, Texas, and you're going to see why here in a minute. Guy named Daniel Allen, right? Why don't you go in the attic and shoot them? Okay, and that's the normal, mentality of somebody thinking, oh, this was just somebody off the street that broke into a private home and they're still on a TV. But that's not the case here. This is $1 million underground homes, right? I mean, this is first known secret police since Nazi Germany. I mean, it's incredible. It's hacking security cameras. Like I said, it's just incredible crimes, incredible corruption. It's the American press all across America hiding the fact that criminals are breaking into homes, rigging homes, and getting in the attics. That should be a national news story. So anyway, I replied back. One little question causes me to write, a little book, to try to defend myself. I said, Daniel, on January 28, 2012, I recognized that somebody was inside my home, and I got this idea to tie wire my door shut to compartmentalize my home and figure out where they were coming in from. I trapped a burglar in my guest bathroom on that day without knowing it, and I was on the other side of the door with a gun. Okay, this was the night that my phone lines were cut, and I was ambushed and shot by somebody under my home with burglar alarms going off in the attic. I crawled out to survive, and while I was at the hospital, a large group of extremely corrupt police accidentally started a camera and caught themselves covering up this failed murder. They're known now as the secret police. They were secret for 6 years. I had to offer a $2,000 reward to get them identified. Should have been a national news story. Crime victim offers a reward to identify police caught on camera in a murder attempt, accidentally caught themselves. 7 years later, in 2019, evidence is found showing that at least 5 police officers had entered my home on that night from a now removed underground entrance. It's believed these corrupt police have been working with the burglars that are breaking into my home and the many others which are rigged like it. Keep in mind that now homeowners all over Midland, Odessa, Texas, and many other states are now documented reporting people in the attic. Other evidence has been found which suggests the same group killed the young man that owned this home before me, and it's also believed that a young girl was murdered here in 2010 at an oil show party at the underground home in the backyard. In fact, I was asked if I knew the names of the 4 people who have been murdered, died in my home. I've got videos on that, show the print screen. This isn't a case of a single burglar breaking into a private home, but a nationwide racketeering and organized crime gang, and it looks like they're using corrupt police to murder homeowners that figure it out and report the crimes. To make this worse, our press in America has become a party to hiding the evidence from the unknowing public. I don't know how it can get more corrupt or more dangerous. It's lawlessness, and that is why shooting them isn't the solution. There is plenty of evidence to arrest the criminals and corrupt police right now. And the video that I put in here was called "During the Commission of a Felony," because see, I was ambushed and shot during the commission of a felony. There was a burglar trapped in my guest bathroom, and that's what this video talks about. It also shows the evidence I found that showed me 5 police officers, Davis, Dickey, Chatwell, Angel, and Hale, were at or in my home, and they wasn't seen arriving. That's how I knew that they came in from the underground trap door, now removed. That the ex-wife had already told me about and from where I'd been shot. So without going, this video will show you the evidence, and so then there was a friend that made another comment, so I had to go ahead and reply to that too, because Jordan here says they took his firearm rights away, and that's what Jordan was saying. The reason he hadn't shot him is because he don't have a gun. Well, I mean, that's partially true. I mean, in that 22 months. I'll just read it here. A friend mentioned that I lost my right to own guns in the protective order hearing, which was filed by the ex-wife 22 months after the murder attempt. That was another mockery of justice, but it's where I found out that her lifelong friend, MPD Detective Rosie Rodriguez, was one of the main secret police that had been caught tampering with evidence and lying on police reports about this home invasion and failed murder. It was because of that protective order hearing. Okay. The former boyfriend of the ex-wife is on record as saying that he overheard her planning my murder to steal life insurance, and she was recorded a few months before the murder attempt to trying to extort or admitting to trying to extort around $1,800 a month from me over the crimes at this house. And if I didn't pay, that she was going to tell everybody that I was crazy. I didn't pay, and she carried out this extortion threat along with that dirty cop friend of hers, Rosa Rodriguez. That recording is attached below. Okay. And I replied to Jordan. I said, I believe that disarming me, when I lost my right to own gun, was meant to protect the criminals that break into my home and defame my character. But I could always tear gas my attic. I've chosen to not try and kill the people breaking into my home after I figured out that I could stop them with tear gas. But I don't want to kill anybody, especially when the real criminals are not in the attics. In fact, I believe it was some corrupt police working with the burglary theft crime ring that tried to murder me. And so that's the thing you need to keep in mind. We've already been to this, had a gun, trapped a burglar, that wasn't going to end it. I don't even believe if I would have killed the people breaking my house, that would end it. I don't think law enforcement would investigate this out and arrest the people that tried to murder me that night, would arrest these corrupt police that are lying, tampering with evidence, lying in police report, helping with the burglaries, the thefts, the murders, the nationwide racketeering, And so I want to share that with you. And I already showed you where to find the evidence. This video isn't going, oh, y'all didn't see no evidence. And you didn't. I showed you where the evidence was at. I'm going to show you my post today, and then we're going to close this out. And it was who was shot on January 17th, 2012. Today is January 17th, okay? And so we're like less than 2 weeks away from the date of the murder attempt back in 2012. I didn't really know what happened when I was shot because of being ambushed. 1 minute the burglar alarms were going off in my attic. The next minute I'm laying in a puddle of blood with my phone lines cut. Crawling out to survive was the priority at the time. This was going to be the perfect murder because nobody is going to suspect that somebody under my home shot me, especially with a large group of corrupt police that was tampering with evidence and lying on the police report. Remember, they accidentally started the camera, caught them. I wouldn't even know about it if they hadn't accidentally started the camera that caught them. After I got home, I started my own investigation. I was seeing x-rays of this footful of pellets, but there just wasn't enough physical room for me to be shot with my 4-foot-long shotgun in my tiny utility room. This is when I started suspecting that my x-rays had been faked. That has now been proven. It's also been proven that I wasn't shot with my gun. Okay. In April of that year, 2012, I had my family doctor order some x-rays, and this was read by a radiologist named Dr. Thomas Hinton. He stated that he compared my x-rays from the injury date of January 17th to others that I'd taken on January 19th, 2012. But I'd been shot 11 days later on the 28th. He wasn't looking at my x-rays. Obviously, this wasn't a typo since it was 2 different dates, and that is what told me somebody else had been shot in the same ankle with a shotgun 11 days before me. It's now proven that my x-rays were faked, and it makes sense they used this guy's x-rays and they put my name on them. Why would they do that? Because I hadn't been shot with a shotgun and he had been. Keep in mind that I was supposed to be dead, as this was a planned murder that didn't go as planned. Praise God. And, and you get into the evidence side of it, you'll figure out that it's believed I was shot with a special bullet called a Glazier safety slug. It's a plastic tip pellet filled bullet loaded from a .45 handgun. And that did fit the space requirements. Plus it fits other pieces of evidence, such as the surgeon saying he removed a large amount of plastic from the wound. The size of pellets match. That there's a lot of other reasons why it's believed they bought a special bullet to shoot me with, and just showing more premeditation. The police were trying to say that I shot myself with my own gun, which is a 4-foot long shotgun, when that was a lie. And in fact, it looks like it may have been some police that tried to murder me inside my own home during a burglary, since they're working with the burglars and the thieves that are breaking in these homes and getting in the attics. I've even wondered if this other guy getting shot gave the doctors who kill for profit an idea how to kill me and call it an accident. The ex-wife had told me while we were married with 100% sincerity, the secret is that a group of doctors are killing people for profit. Of course, she didn't tell me her brother-in-law was a doctor at the time. I've suspected they were connected with the money-making underground homes, and I was a problem since I was tear gassing the attic and calling the police about the crimes. I would later notice on the emergency room report that the x-rays were time-stamped 10 minutes before the doctor had ordered them, along with other evidence proving they had been faked. It's believed a still secret lab tech named User in Interface was the person who faked my x-rays, but I've never been able to get that person identified. A secret medical person faking x-rays. I did see an EOB, or explanation of benefits, from my insurance company, where Dr. Hinton charged me and the insurance company $76 for x-rays on the night of the murder attempt, but his name was not on the report. I wondered if he was the secret lab tech user in interface that had faked my x-rays. I would later see where Dr. Hinton, Dr. Wimpy, and the ER doctor from the night of the murder attempt worked out of the same office. Dr. Wimpy was arrested in 2017 for child sex crimes, and come to find out, the ER doctor was the brother-in-law of the ex-wife, and she was the one that had told me the secret. The secret is a group of doctors are killing people for profit. One day I accidentally went to my surgeon's office early, but they let me in anyway. As I was waiting, I saw a guy about my build with a splint on the same foot as mine, and I wondered if he was the guy that had been shot with a shotgun 11 days before me. I believe that I saw the same guy in the front yard of 3811 Fair Circle. That's the home on the corner, used to be the Martin house in my small little cul-de-sac, around the same time. It's easy to notice people with a splint on and on crutches, And law enforcement needs to find out who this guy is and who was shot on the 17th. And now I'm going to show you here, right here, okay, who was shot on 17th. And there's the date performed, April 12, 2012. I was shot January 28th. Dr. Oduku, that's my family doctor. And here it is, a gunshot wound injury date is 1/17/19, and the comparison was made to 1/19/12, except I was shot 11 days later on the 28th. Okay, so obviously it wasn't a typo since it's two different dates. You'd think if it's, just one date, then somebody hit the wrong number on the keyboard. But when you put two dates there, the odds on that happening go up into the millions. It's like, no, that's no accident. That was on purpose. That's what told me somebody else was shot 11 days before me on the 17th with the shotgun. And I've already proved them x-rays are fake, so it makes sense it's that guy's foot was used to fake the x-rays. And here it is, signed by Dr. Thomas Hinton on April 12th, 2012. And so, anyways, I thought you'd find that interesting. This is Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.